Hello friends, I'm Rosa, welcome. So it's been a little while since, no it hasn't, that was in December. I have just gotten a lot of books, okay? Listen, it's been Christmas, my birthday's around the corner as well, but I ended up getting a stack of books over December from Advent presents, and then I got a bunch Christmas Eve, and I just want to show you guys what I got, to be honest. So, I don't know how many, 23 books. I got 23 books to show you. Some of them are special editions, there's a couple of deluxe editions as well, and a lot of paperbacks. All my Advent presents were paperbacks. I got these so if you don't know what Advent presents are, basically every Sunday leading up to Christmas. Sometimes Christmas is also an Advent day for us, but you can get presents. So my mom ended up giving me 4 books as an Advent present, or 4 books as like an Advent calendar thing, so I got one every Sunday as a thank you for helping her out with all the Christmas shopping, because I basically handle that. And then I got another one as well, and several for Christmas, and they're special edition. We just have we have a lot to show, okay? We have a lot to go through. I will make sure to leave links to all of it in the description box if possible. So no promises, but if possible, I will. Because some of them I'm probably not going to summarize. It's hard to summarize books that I've not read, but I really want to show you guys anyway. So we're going to start out. There's no order to this, by the way. None whatsoever. I don't know. I used to do like chapters, so I would do YA fantasy and then I would do romance, for example, but it's gonna be a little bit all over the place. We're starting out with You with a View though, and this is by Jessica Joyce. I bought this was it to celebrate that I got accepted into school? I can't remember. I bought it kind of on a whim. I wanted to find a romance that had gotten a lot of good reviews, which this has, but I don't actually fully know what it's about. I didn't read the reviews. I just saw the good reviews, and then I was like, okay, I'll go with that one. Seems like it's a road trip and she's stuck with her high school enemy. So forced proximity with a high school enemy sounds kind of oof. It's only 2 weeks. Surely Noel can survive that long, but with one car between them and often only one bed, it doesn't take long for things to heat up. There's a very fine line, at least in fiction, there's a very fine line between love and hate. I'm not sure about in real life, but at least in fiction there is. So it's something about her grandmother passing, and she found out her grandmother had a great love, or a secret love, they say, who she tracks down, and he then offers that she can go on the honeymoon that the grandmother and this guy Paul had planned together, so she ends up going on it. However, Paul's grandson is her high school enemy, and he ends up going too. So it's a bit, it sounds fun. It sounds kind of fun. We have Monarch by Sophie Lark. This is one of the books that I got in my Advent calendar. It is technically a sequel, but I think they're companion novels, so I think it's fine. Do I know what this is about? Absolutely no. Not a clue. I think it's sort of gothic. Maybe there's a bit of it's dark romance, but maybe there's a bit of a murder mystery to it or something. At least something mysterious. All types of people pass through my hotel, the best and bravest, the cruelest and most selfish, and sometimes the dark and deeply depraved. In a desperate bid to get out of town, 27-year-old, I hate that, virgin and bookstore nerd Elena Zelenska. I don't like the virgin trope. I don't know. Becomes the world's most unlikely mail-order bride. Her gamble pays off when she's swept off her feet by Lorne Ronson, handsome single father, and it says gasp in parentheses. Actual published author. Elena's new fiancé seems almost too good to be true. Her life is turning into a fairy tale, especially since Lorne is building her a castle in the woods. But when Elena arrives in Grimstone, her fairy tale turns darker. Oh, he's building her... This is a McMansion. This is not a castle. Is this a castle? I don't know. The castle in the woods is a macabre labyrinth of hidden chambers, and Lorne is no Prince Charming. In fact, he might just be a monster. Isolated far from home, Elena's only ally is Atlas Covett, the owner of the Monarch Hotel. Massive and stern, even Atlas's employees are terrified of him. He becomes Elena's unexpected protector, offering solace and sanctuary from the darkness that threatens to consume her. As Elena's bond with Atlas deepens, her jealous fiancé exerts his control in increasingly twisted ways. Elena must find a way out before the castle he's building becomes a prison. She'll never escape. It does sound dark indeed. I wonder, so that means, I mean, this is a dark romance, but it seems like Atlas is actually the romantic interest, not so much the husband. The monster. With dark romances, you never really know. We'll see about it. I have, oh, and I'm so excited for this one. A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, which is one that I've been keeping an eye on for ages. And then I got it on the first Sunday in the advent calendar and I was so excited. It's by Sarah Hawley. Oh, there's a bookmark in there. So essentially we follow our lead girl who is a witch. And she is a very powerful witch, but when she does this like spell, she accidentally summons a demon who can't leave her side unless she makes a deal with him. So he's just kind of stuck with her. And there's a bit of like a forced proximity thing there. I'm sure that they had to come up with an excuse to why he's always by her side, hence the fake dating. And so that's what it's about. It's the first one in the, I think it's called Glimmer Falls series, which all have these like, they're like rom-coms but with a supernatural twist. So witches, vampires, demons, and you know, that sort of thing. And I'm so excited. I want more rom-coms that are written like that. Rom-coms but that are fantasy. Like Bride as well. I would like to see some more of that. I think Assistant to the Villain is no, not Assistant to the Villain, that's pretty romantic-y. What was the one? My Roommate is a Vampire. Like that one as well. I had to look up. It's on the top shelf. It's a bit hard to see it, okay. We have Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas, which I believe as well is technically the sequel to Twice Six Venom. Is that how you pronounce that? Twice Six Venom. It's such a random title that I don't really know if I got it right. But I think they're not necessarily like connected and like plot wise, so I would probably still have the first one on my iPad in my Kindle library, so I'll probably read that before going into this one. The only thing I know is that I don't know, but I think this is why I choose, because it says Five Brothers, but then I'm like, but brothers though? I'm not sure that I like that, but I'm gonna give it a go. Dark contemporary romance. And I believe why I choose. On the other side of town are Five Brothers. Bacon is the oldest. I've never seen him smile. Army is a single dad with beautiful green eyes. Iron will be in prison soon. Okay. Dallas is the one I hate. And Trey's used to be mine. I need to go home, away from the swamps and these men. I'll leave tomorrow. I'll crash on the couch tonight. Everyone is asleep. Except for one. He sees me crying. I let him wrap his arms around my body and hold me. I don't think it was Trey's, which means it was another brother. I don't know who, but I can't help but want him to hold me again. I let my mom read this at, well, not read the book, but the back of it at a baker, and she was like, okay. Like, that sounds dramatic. I don't think she's surprised by what I read. I don't really, you know, we talk about it here. I don't really care. I have no shame whatsoever. So I was like, she was asking me like, but does that mean she just cheated or, and I'm like, no, she's with all the brothers. And she's like, oh, okay. It's fine. Then we have one that I actually read, Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. This is the Afterlight edition. It was, I believe, the December book, but it could also have been the November one, and I just can't remember exactly. I read this already. I didn't like it, unfortunately. I got an ARC of it, so I didn't read this one. But this is like such a cute edition that I'm a bit like, I don't really want to let it go just yet. Like, it's so Christmassy, but I don't know, didn't really like the book. At some point I'll be like, okay, well, there's another one that I got now that I like better and I liked reading it as well, so I'll probably just swap it out and then sell it. But for the moment, for the time being, I'm sticking to it. I'm keeping it. But this is about it's a second chance romance with a pair of girls, and they're musicians as well, and they end up at this, basically they have each one has a friend and they're sisters. And so they end up at this like family thing where their mother, the sister's mother, has planned this like dating thing over Christmas, and so they have to partake in that, and they end up getting a little bit close and stuff like that. It's not necessarily Christmassy, I just want to say, but I think I've talked about it in a wrap-up already, so I'm not going to dwell on it. But yeah, It's contemporary adult romance. We have an illustrated edition, Hamajang Luck by Makana Yamamoto, and I cannot remember what this one is about at all. It's very foily, super foily, but it's like holographic foil, which is super cool. I believe this is it sci-fi? It looks very sci-fi. It looks extremely sci-fi. Like, if this is not sci-fi, I am confused, you know, but I cannot remember what it's about at all. I think I received this book, read the synopsis, and then I just like removed itself from my head. Ocean's 8 meets Blade Runner in this trailblazing debut science fiction novel and swashbuckling love letter to Hawaii about being forced to find a new home and striving to build a better one. Unmissable for fans of Gideon the Ninth and by Tamsin Muir or something, and Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, it's a heist book, and I do believe it's science. Fiction. I believe it's science. I read science now, guys. Are we proud? Just casually reading about science. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see if I hold on to this one. I do love a heist book, and I love both Gideon the Ninth and Six of Crows, but I feel like oftentimes the books they choose to compare to aren't necessarily fitting comparisons, so I'm a bit like, I don't know if I should believe it fully. We have one that as well I've kind of forgotten all about. The Last Hours Between Worlds by Melissa Caruso. And I will say I'm also skipping Illumicrate February and March as well. I think I've just, with these two books, just kind of realized that maybe Illumicrate is not really doing it for me right now, because I can't remember what this is about because I'm not interested in it at all. But I think there's a splash of science fiction, something about time traveling, a star investigator and her rival journey through layers of reality to save the world as they know it in this whip-smart adventure fantasy packed with full of reality-bending magic, sapphic romance, and tantalizing mystery. So there's time travel, which means there's a dash of like science fiction as well, but I don't know if it's mainly science fiction or if it's mainly fantasy. If you want to see the edition though, it's a colorway change. I think the original is a bit like black and brown-ish. We have the stunning naked cover with foil on it as well. End pages that look like this in the front. Are they the same in the back? No, they are not. They look like this, and edges look like this. I think they're printed, but they look stenciled. But I think they're printed, so I don't know. We'll see though, we'll see. I'm holding on to it for the time being, but I don't know. Another one I got as an advent present is Mine for the Moment by Catherina MOA. And this is, I've kept an eye on one of their books for ages. So it's quite funny that I received one. I think I have a thing for Bloom books. I can't thank you enough for picking up Mine for a Moment. Like all my books, Serenity and Arch's story is filled with angst, steam, and a happily ever after that is hard won but well deserved. Sounds like my kind of story. Their story will take you on a roller coaster ride of the best kind, the kind that leaves you smiling at the end even though your heart might drop at times. Mine for a Moment contains some of my favorite tropes: brother's best friend, workplace romance, a hidden identity, and forbidden love that involves lots of sneaking around. And I hope you enjoy reading their story as much as I loved writing it. Oh, that's cute. Thank you for letting me know the tropes so I don't have to read the back at the moment. Her older brother's billionaire best friend and her boss. Oh, that's awkward. Forbidden romance. I saw a post on Instagram the other day that was like, forbidden romance in fantasy can be described as like, our kingdoms will crumble if we fall in love. And then with contemporary romance, it's like, oh, I hope Jang from HR doesn't sue us or something. I can't file a complaint. I don't know. It's so funny. Yeah, forbidden romance. It's like enemies to lovers as well. Are they truly enemies unless someone has threatened the other one with a knife? But also, can you do that outside of like, at least like fantasy and dark romance? Can you do that with normal romance? Normal romance? Not really, can you? Anyway, but yes, Mine for a Moment. which is mine forever. Not to be cheesy. Anyway. Love and Romeo by Laura Pavlov, and this one I've actually also seen around quite a lot the last like 2 months or something. So I was another one. I was so excited to see this in my Advent presents. Even though I signed up to, one was supposed to have been romantasy and the other one dark romance. This is neither. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Demi Crawford is Magnolia Falls of royalty. I'm the boxer from the wrong side of the tracks. We couldn't be more different. Her family's enemy number one, and it made her guilty by association. I despised her before I even knew her. It was easier that way. But now she's moved in next door to me, and she's everywhere I turn. She's beautiful and honest and sweet. Everything I know I shouldn't want. They say there's a fine line between love and hate. They do say that. I said this in this video already. And I don't know when I crossed over. She's the right hook I never saw coming. But the secrets between us will threaten to tear us apart. Lucky for her, I'm a born fighter and she's definitely worth the fight. Well, sounds very, very promising. Hating her was my end game. Loving her was just the beginning. So cheesy, but I love cheesy books. We also have Lights Out by Nevessa Ellen, which I actually don't know much about. I just saw it all over social media for a month and I was like, okay, sure, I'll buy it. Because you know, this might have actually been the one that I celebrated getting accepted into school, or that I bought because I celebrated that I got into school. I can't remember. Either this one or You with a View. Or maybe I had a bad day and that's why I bought that one, and this one was because I had a good day. I don't discriminate. It's always okay to buy books. I want someone with a soul as black as night. Someone who would burn the world down for me and not lose a single minute of sleep over it. Definitely dark romance. Do I know entirely what it's about? No, not at all. Ooh, A Masked Man. I actually am running a challenge right now over 2025, a dark romance challenge, and one of the prompts is that the romantic lead has to, or the romantic interest has to be a masked person. So I'm like, yes. This is gonna cover that. So far, I got kidnapping down. Other than that, nothing. Okay, that's because I read a lot of romantasy. I'm kind of like dark fantasy. Dark romantasy also counts, right? Yeah. Josh has spent his life avoiding the limelight, but his online persona is another story. At night, he posts masked thirst traps for his millions of fans. Until one follower catches his eye. Ali. Is he stalking? Is this a stalker story? As Josh turns from predator to protector, he must ask himself how far he'll go for the woman he can't live without. Oh my god, a stalker story is this couple who stays together. This sounds so much fun. I don't love that it says TikTok on the front cover though. I will say. But like, I don't diss on popular TikTok books either. Just I'm not one of those. If you are, that's fine. I'm not. So we have a sequel to a book that I've not read. Because you know. I got a book that I didn't want in my advent calendar. And so I decided to swap it for this one, even though I have not read the first one, which is Butcher and Blackbird. But it's romance, murder, and chaos. So I'm like, I'm gonna love it anyway. I'm just gonna get the sequel. And I do think it is on my have to read in 2025. Every killer claims a soul, every phantom wants revenge. But I don't really know what they're about though. Just, I'm kind of thinking that it's like dark romance but funny. Make it haha funny. Dark romantic comedy? Dark comedic romance. Maybe. I don't know. Just don't ask me. I mean, you could, and I'll figure it out for you. I also got another one that I didn't want, and so I swapped it with A Day of Fallen Night because I refuse to read books that are more than... Actually, can't say that because there are certain books that I feel are better to read in ebook format, and certain books that I feel I would benefit reading in physical format. And A Day of Fallen Night is one of those. It's over 800 pages. And though I have read books that are more than, I think the longest book I've read on as an ebook is like 1100 or something. I can't remember. It just feels like it's like, I need to see that I'm progressing. Even if I'm so thoroughly enjoying it, I need to physically see that I'm progressing instead of just the percentage number going up. And so for certain books, I think it's better for me to have them as ebooks. Or as physical books, and this is one of those. So yes, I do have it already. I have the broken binding and the Illuminated editions, but I refuse to read them, so I got a paperback one. Which means that I can finally I finally feel like I could actually read it. I could have just purchased it and I didn't. But now I haven't. I have chosen not to read the synopsis for this. I kind of want to go into it half blind. I say half because I have read A Priory of the Orange Tree, or The Priory of the Orange Tree, by Samantha Shannon, by the way. I completely forgot to say. So I won't be completely oblivious going into it. I kind of already know the world and stuff, but I don't really fully know what is happening in this part of the story of Roots of Chaos. I'm super excited to get into it though. Mother, we are your daughters. We remember, we remain. I cannot say that. We remember, we remain. Oh, but there's also no synopsis on this anyway. So too bad. But it means I finally have it and I'm very excited to finally have it as a physical, readable copy. I don't read my special editions. It's just, it is what it is. This I actually have read. I got this as an Advent calendar present as well. It's Rhapsodic by Laura Talassa. I have read it. It's the first book in the Bargainer series. I read it ages ago and then I completely forgot to continue the series. I enjoyed the first book so much. It's romantasy, very easy to read as well, not hard to understand. It's like it's what I would call like breezy romantasy, so you don't have to keep track of too much, if that makes sense. But I just completely forgot to continue the series, and then I was reminded at some point in like November, and then I got this, and I'm like, it's a sign that I need to continue. So I have the first one now. Maybe I'll do a reread, maybe I won't. Essentially in this series though, we follow our lead girl Calypso, and she's a siren. She has throughout her younger years been making a lot of bargains with this mythical man who they call the Bargainer, and usually when he makes bargains he requires pay right away. By the way, he's very well known among the supernatural creatures. However, he's never actually asked for payment from Calypso until at some point when she's a grown-up he shows up at her apartment and just like, it's time to repay me. And so she has to, can I say that? How much can I say? For the Bargainer, it's more than just a matter of rekindling an old romance. Something is happening in the other world. The other world is where the Fae are, for example. Fae warriors are going missing one by one. Only the women are returned, each in a glass casket, a child clutched to their breast. And then there are the whispers among the slaves, the whispers of an evil that's been awoken. So she has to help him. She has to help the Bargainer figure out what's happening with the lost people, what's happening with the women in the glass caskets, and solve all of that before it goes mayhem. But I think the series is like 4 or 5 books, so it probably goes to chaos before they manage to fix everything. Okay. This one I have had an eye on for, I thought it was gonna be thicker, and I'm so surprised. I do not comprehend. Anyway, I'm not complaining, it's fine. But Kyland by Mia Sheridan. I am on a slow mission of obtaining all Mia Sheridan's books. So we got 2 more down. No, we got 1 more down. There's only 1 in this bunch. And now I don't know how many more I got to go, but probably a lot. Kyland though, I'm very excited about. It's about 2 people from a very poor town that both are competing for the same scholarship so they can leave the town. They both desperately want to go. However, they know that they're competitors. There's only 1 winner. And unfortunately for them, they kind of like start up a friendship and then they turn into close friends and then they turn into something more. And what do you do when like there's only 1 scholarship? There's only one chance for one of them to get away from this town, this very small poverty-stricken town. So only one of them gets to win, only one of them gets to leave, and when that day comes, what happens to the one left behind? Oh, I don't know. Go with them. Hope for the best. I don't really know. I got this for Christmas and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It is Lur Olympus Volume 5. I don't remember how far into the series I am. Is it volume 2 or volume 3? Every time I read this series, I get so happy. I am just, it's not all happy though, I just want to say, but I'm sitting there with a smile on my face the entire time because it's so good. I'm so happy that I'm reading it, even if the content is sad. It's such a good, it's like a retelling of, also it's by Rachel Smythe. I don't know. But it's a retelling of Hades and Persephone, but make it a little bit more urban, contemporary, a little bit high fashion. Not really, but a little bit more modern, if you will. Am I gonna show you the style? I always do this. She's so cute. This is not core, but like the style is cute. I don't know who this is. I'm gonna show you core, but without getting spoiled if I can. Where's core? She's adorable. She's so cute. I love her. Anyway, so I now have 1 through 6. I think there's a 7 out as well that I need to get my hands on, but I'm just so happy that I have 5 as well. I bought 6 before getting 5 because 5 had been on my wish list for a while, and so I was like, I don't dare buy it in case someone has bought it. So I just went straight to 6. I basically just skipped 5. This one I actually went to buy with my mom ages ago, and then she was like, I'm gonna get it wrapped up because she gave it to me. I'm gonna get it wrapped up and you're just gonna get it at some point. I'm like, okay. So I got it Christmas Eve. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo with the black edges as well and the fancy end pages. And because it's been such a long time since I thought about this book, because I knew that I was going to get it at some point, I cannot remember what it's about. So, fate can be changed, curses can be broken. In a shabby house in the new capital of Madrid, Lucia Cotaro uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil. But when her scheming mistress discovers her scullion is hiding a talent for little miracles, is that how you pronounce that, scullion? Anyway, she demands Lucia use those gifts to win over the royal court. Determined to seize this chance to better her fortunes, Lucia plunges into a world of power-hungry nobility, desperate kings, holy men, and seers, where the lines between magic, science, and fraud blur. With the pyres of the Inquisition burning, she must use every bit of her wit and resilience to win fame and hide the truth of her ancestry, even if that means enlisting the help of an embittered immortal familiar whose own secrets could cost her everything. So we do have, like, it's fantasy, but with a historical fiction twist to it. Does anybody else also call that historical fantasy? Because I feel like that makes sense. Historical fantasy by Leigh Bardugo. My foot is sleeping. I cannot feel it anymore. And so I need to adjust. This one you might think is a bit crazy, but I got this for Christmas as well. My brother has bought me most of the Stormlight Archive series. I think I bought myself The Way of Kings, and then he's bought the rest. This he ordered all the way from the US, even though he did not need to. But he just wanted to make sure, he just wanted to make sure that he got the right edition, because he knows how much I care about getting the right editions. So he bought this specifically from the US, because it's the US hardback, so it matches the rest. I moved it, didn't I? Yeah, you can't see it now. It's like over there. Yeah. So it matches the rest of my hardcovers. And so I'm so happy. I cannot tell you what this is about so far because I'm only somewhat into The Way of Kings. However, what I read of The Way of Kings was so good as well. Just want to say. But think like, no, it's a complicated. Think like a world with deep history, magic, kings, but people, slaves as well, misuse of power, soldiers, war, a lot of history. High fantasy. High AF fantasy. And I'm excited. It will take me a while before I get to this one. It will. But I'm so excited. The long-awaited explosive climax of... Oh, I thought there were actually going to be 6. It means I have the full first 5. I'm so happy. No, it's beautiful. I will show you why I prefer the US hardbacks over the UK ones. It's because on the inside of the dust jacket, you get the map, which means you can just like have it lying in front of you when you're reading, because I would not be reading this in bed. I would be sitting on my computer reading it because these books are heavy. We also have end pages that are kind of fancy. They're different in the back. I hope these are no spoilers, but like, I don't know. Reminds me that I need to get back into The Way of Kings. Desperately. Anyway, I'm so happy. And it's very thoughtful of my brother as well. He just wanted to be sure, which is just very nice of him. So let me just, also because it's so expensive, like this is why I'm like, you did not have to buy it from the US. Like you could have found the US hardback in Europe, because it's so expensive purchasing books all the way from the US. But he just wanted to make sure. So I also have the Fairy Loot Immortal by Sulin Tan, which was the January adult book, and she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. This is a redesigned cover as well. We have beautiful edges. We also have beautiful end papers that are different in the front and the back. So I will show you, but I will also show you the stunning art on the naked cover. The back end pages look like this, and there's also a reversible desk jacket with the two characters from the story. I'm sure there's more than two characters, but like the two lead characters. I loved Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and so when I saw that she was coming out with a new book, I was like, yes. And then I found out that that Fairy Loot was going to do it. Oh, and I'm so happy that they did it because, yes. Like, look at these. They're so cute. They're so beautiful. Just a stunner. Oh, I completely forgot what it's about. But we follow a mortal girl who has to team up with an immortal because she's the heir to her kingdom, I think. Or she's like, oh, she's on the throne. She's the leader of her kingdom. But she has to team up with an immortal because trouble. Dark forces are closing in, and to save her people from an unspeakable fate, the end must risk everything, even her heart, because she does end up... So she's not very fond of the immortals. Obviously, this guy, he's the god of war, and so he's an immortal, but like she seeks help, and it might be dangerous for her because they might be falling for each other as well. I don't know. I feel like I'm messing up the synopsis a little bit at the moment. Anyway, the December romantasy book, Fairy Loot one as well, was Heavenly Bodies by Imani Ariu. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Redesigned cover. She's so stunning. She's so beautiful. Ugh, she's so beautiful. And I've had an eye on this book, Heavenly Bodies, for a while. It was republished recently. Who was it by? Oh, it doesn't even say. Oh, I don't know. Penguin. It was republished by Penguin in the UK. And so Fairy Loot decided to pick it up, but I think it was maybe indie published to begin with. I've at least known of this book for a while. I've had an eye on it for a while. And so when I found out Fairy Loot was doing it, I got so excited. She's so beautiful, so stunning, so pretty, so precious. Also comes with art on the naked cover, which looks like this. And pages as well that look like this in the front. In the back, they look like this. And I'm gonna read the synopsis for this out aloud because I can. Because I can read. You know, the most dangerous kind of villain, a woman with nothing to lose. In a world ruled by the stars, cruel and merciless gods, Ilara has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises she will fall for a star, but it will kill them both. When the star of wrath and war descends to hunt Ilara, the neighboring kingdom sees an opportunity to take her from her home, the kingdom of night, to Helios, the kingdom of light, where she strides straight into the arms of an enemy prince. There, Ilara is forced to either let Prince Lorenzo train her into a weapon worthy of battling against the tyrannical reign of the stars, or to accept her fate. But there are shadows even within the kingdom of light, and they threaten to reveal the darkness in Lorenzo's past and the ancient magic that slumbers in Ilara's veins. And with it all, the undeniable star-crust pull between them. I wonder, is he a god? Are you a god? Are you a god man? I mean a star. What is his name? Lorenzo? Does Lorenzo mean star? I don't think so. Anyway, she's beautiful, stunning. I love her. We do love her. And then, for my mother for Christmas, this is going to be a bit interesting to lift up, but I got the deluxe edition set of the Hunger Games. Well, 1, 2, 3, and then also the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I'm going to show you them. They don't currently have a spot on the shelves because I have run out of space, but I'll figure it out at some point when I am forced to. But the Hunger Games look like this. They are naked covers and have some foil on them. Beautiful designs. They're pretty simple, but they're just so stunning. When I opened them, everyone was looking at them like, wow, they're so gorgeous. And I'm like, yes, I know. Now you guys understand why I collect these books. And they were like, yeah, we get it. I feel very validated. Anyway, but the Hunger Games, just the first one. We have Catching Fire the second one, which is this burned orange kind of, well, orange red, also with foil. Then we have Mockingjay, which is this mauve. I hope that's how you pronounce that, but I'm not really sure. Red leaves as well. Gray purple, mauve. Is that how you pronounce it? I should probably look that up. It looks like you would pronounce it like that, but I'm not really sure. Lilac and papers is what, lilac maybe? Anyway, she's beautiful. Very, very gorgeous color combination. And then we have the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which has a songbird and a snake instead of the Mockingjay. It is orange, yellow with green, and it's just so pretty. These are so pretty. I forgot to show you as well, but on the back of all of them, there's a little quote. So this one says, ambition will fuel him, competition will drive him, but power has its price. And this one I still am a little bit iffy about because it is about President Snow, and I hope he doesn't get redeemed because he's a major villain who kills children. I don't feel like he deserves a redemption arc. Anyway. But maybe it's about him turning into a psychopath. I don't know. So stunning book set, and at some point, a bit hard to hold. At some point, they will find a spot on my shelves as well. They don't look like sci-fi books, which is my only thing, but I don't really mind it, to be honest. I think at first I was like, that's dumb. It's a beautiful design, but like, why is it spent on the Hunger Games when it's sci-fi? It doesn't really matter. She spends most of the first book in a forest anyway. So now I don't care. I don't know. They're just very, very beautiful books. And that was it. Oh my gosh. Also very heavy. That was it for this book haul. There'll probably be one up not in too long, I think, because I have a lot of books coming in, so maybe like sometime end of February or sometime in March. Again, I will try to leave links to all of the books in the description box, but I cannot make any promises. But if you read any of them, let me know your thoughts if you want to share. And if you've gotten any books for Christmas, also feel free to let me know. I would love to hear you out. I would love to get some inspiration for other books I should acquire as well. Because, you know, we can always get more books. Yes. But that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this from me, but also all the other booktube stuff, definitely consider sticking around by clicking on the subscribe button. However, that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Oh, you know, you're beautiful.